So strong.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Cryptos Anonymous. So, Bitcoin is making some moves, but are we going to keep pulling up and continue to pump, or are we going to see some more downside and start to dump? Now, I just want to say I am not a financial advisor. I do not give financial advice, and anything that you see on this channel is strictly my opinion. You should not be making any financial decisions off of anything I say on this channel. And let's get into things. So, what is my position right now? I am still bearish. I am very, very bearish. I don't see any signs of a bullish uptrend. If we do our cup and handle I was telling you guys about the other day, it is starting to fit more and more and more perfectly. Now, I did bring up the fact that if we did come down to make our handle, we could see some sort of a head and shoulders pattern, which is exactly what I'm starting to see. And this would play out very, very nicely with our wedge. As we get close to the end of this wedge here, we have about maximum on June 5th. We will have a decision made before June 5th. But I would definitely say probably by the 3rd, we will know if we are going up or down. At the moment, my inverse cup and handle, it just seems to be playing out too perfectly. It's coming down to test the support. It's going up to test the resistance. We didn't even get to hit the resistance. We were rejected before we hit the resistance, which for me, that's a bearish sign. And now it looks like we were making another shoulder, which probably won't touch the resistance. We could, but I doubt it. And then we'll get rejected here and touch the support. Now what I'm seeing, and some people would say this is a positive sign, I see it as a negative sign. We have touched the support once, twice, three times, 4 times, and this would make 5 times over here. Whereas for the resistance, we have touched it once, twice, almost three times. So for me, I'm showing we are seeing more signs at the bottom than we are at the top. Okay, so this is giving me the indication that we think the price is not worth this much over here, and we are liking to stay kind of in this safe area, which is a bearish sign. That is not a bullish sign. A lot of you guys were also asking me about a spring phase, saying, oh, when are we going into the spring? We were pumping. What's happening to the spring phase? So on the Wyckoff schematic, you don't have to have a spring phase. The whole point of the spring phase is to test the market. It's to test the volume of the market. It's to test people's mental aptitude of whether they think we're going to be bearish or bullish. Now, I'm actually going to show you, we are in a little bit of an accumulation phase. And as you can see, this is the phase where we have a spring. So right now, we would probably be somewhere around this area. We'd be kind of at the end, making a little bit of a handle before we do a bit of a dump. So we would be definitely somewhere around here. And we are getting close to the edge of the wedge. That's a nice saying, the edge of the wedge. So we're getting close to that. And you know, that's where I think we're going to have our spring and fall off. But if I show you the other schematic here, you can see we don't have to have a spring. We could actually consolidate, get to the end of the wedge, and pull up and start going in a bull run. But I'm just not seeing it, especially on Bitcoin. I am definitely not seeing it. We have not one time pulled above this resistance. We have hit it, and we have been swiftly rejected every single time in a matter of minutes. Now, if I show you something like Cardano might change your mind a little bit here. Cardano is actually doing really, really good. As you guys can see, we hit our support. Oh, let me pull out the highlighter. My apologies. We hit the support once, twice, 3 times, but here we've hit the resistance once, twice, almost a 3rd time, and now we're here at a 4th time, and we're holding above it. So for me, I'm seeing four positions at the top, meaning that it actually wants to break this price. It wants to go up. It doesn't really sit in these lower levels too often. So Cardano is looking very, very, very bullish. But here's something you have to consider. If Bitcoin decides to jump off a cliff, Cardano, unfortunately, is going to follow the same fate. Now, I don't think it is going to go as low as Bitcoin, seeing how bearish it is. So what could happen with Cardano is we could actually pull down just to this support one more time and then actually bounce back up. So that would be somewhere around the 150 range, which is proving to be a very nice support level throughout the entire process of the dip going on Cardano. So this seems to be a very nice level where it would actually bounce off of. You see we've kind of hit here before as well. So, I'm bullish on Cardano. I don't think it'll actually drop under, 150, 145 anymore. I have now relieved myself of that expectation. But on Bitcoin, you can kind of see a difference, right? We have not pulled above this. We've been hanging around the bottom a little bit more than the top. So I think we're kind of, losing that bullish dominance right now. So if we do decide to drop, what's going to happen? Well, I think we're going to form this next shoulder. Okay, I don't think it's even going to touch this resistance. If we were going to break out of this resistance, I am more than certain that we would have done it right here and kind of consolidated and pushed up. But we did not do that. We were rejected before we actually even got up to that resistance level. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is we're going to test the support level. We're going to fall through it, and we're going to come down and test this 31,000, 30,000 range. Once we hit this, you're probably going to see a little bit of buying volume, right? Because this has been a really good mental, emotional support for a while. So you might see some buying volume even coming all the way back to touch the top of the wedge, and then we would get rejected again, which would kind of start a bear flag pattern, bringing us somewhere down to this area here, around 20,000 upwards to 25,000. I think that's the worst case scenario. I don't think we're going to 15,000 or 16,000. I mean, it could happen. I just don't see it happening. And then we would play around in this area probably for a few weeks and then start to kind of pull back up. That is what I'm expecting for Bitcoin. I really think this is actually a good thing that we got going on here. You can already tell, like, Bitcoin is starting to lose some of its status. It's starting to lose a lot of its market cap. And a lot of these altcoins seem to be doing really, really well. They're starting to shine, like the actual coins that are going to build a real ecosystem for us. They're starting to shine. They're starting to look very, very bullish. And Bitcoin, it's kind of being put in its place right now. Like, it'll always be the golden standard, but it really doesn't have that much utility, right? Where something like Cardano or BTC or Mana, like those are really good, kind of ecosystems and actual products that we can use. Whereas Bitcoin, it's not really a product you can use, guys. It's like a bank account. It's a store of value, right? It's kind of like an asset, pretty much. So, I don't think it's bad for the crypto space. I think what's going on right now is really, really healthy. I think it's good. I think we're going to see some other coins pass Bitcoin, like Cardano or Ethereum. I'm pretty sure one of those two are going to eventually pass Bitcoin, potentially even Dogecoin next year with the SpaceX Doge mission launch with the Doge rocket. I think that's going to be pretty insane, and it's going to be a very, very interesting year. So I'm not long-term bearish. I'm just very short-term bearish, maybe up until July. Take this time to buy a few more coins, accumulate a bit more money, and then just hold it and let it run for the rest of the year. I think we're going to be seeing really good numbers coming out from most of these coins, especially near the end of the year. With the update from Cardano, with the update from Ethereum, XRP kind of finishing its little lawsuit case that it has going on. So, I'm seeing a lot of positive things kind of come into the space. So, thank you guys very much for listening. And if you have any questions, please put them down in the comments. Let's talk, let's chat. By the way, I just want to apologize. I know I said I was going to do a live stream, but there was so much volatility in the market that I didn't want to have an influence on your guys' decisions. I shouldn't be influencing them anyway, seeing as I'm not a financial advisor, but I know it can become tempting when you hear someone else say something. So I decided to postpone the live stream, let the market play out a little bit, and we'll check back in a couple days and see what happens. So thank you guys very much for listening, and until next time, we'll see you later. So strong.